Hello everyone and welcome to Harv's World, where we are testing crop yield. Specifically, do game settings affect your crop yield in any way? Now let me explain a little bit. So, a question was posited on a forum I was looking at recently about turning on plowing, lime, and weeds. Turning that on or off, and would that affect crop yield in any way? We're going to find out. Shouldn't take very long. Pretty simple test, and I'll explain exactly how we're going to do it. So as we start, I'll show you my settings. I have got plowing required turned on, I've got lime turned on, and I have weeds turned on. Now if we look at this field right in front of us, this is field 21 right here, and we look, and I will show you, this is fully fertilized. Turn off fertilizer. It does not need plowing. It does not need lime. So it has been fully limed, fully fertilized, and there are no weeds, even though all of those options are turned on. So very simple test. We are going to harvest this field, find out what our baseline is, and then I will turn all of those off, replant the field, get it all ready to harvest again, and we will harvest that and find out if there's any difference whatsoever. So let's get busy, shall we? I've got a nice big fat John Deere harvester right here for us to use. It doesn't want me to get inside of it for some reason. Now, I didn't figure we needed the world's biggest harvester on the planet to do this test. Just one that would, we didn't need the world's biggest field to do this test. Any field should do. So I picked one that was smaller so that this test wouldn't take 4 or 5 hours. And this could be a very short video, and I actually expect it to be. I can't imagine why you would be able to turn those options off and then them penalize you for doing so. Now we know that plowing, liming, and fertilizing, if you don't do those when they're turned on, those will affect your yield. We know that for sure. But if they're turned off, why should they affect your yield? Well, we're going to find out. Do they or not? That's the question of the day. And again, this is a very small field, so it won't take long to harvest. In fact, I think we'll just jump right ahead to the end of harvesting this field, and I will let you know exactly how many liters of soybeans we pulled off of this as our baseline test. I'll see you in just a few minutes. So I am just finishing up our little soybean harvest here, getting the last few beans off of this field. There we go. And you can see this field is now clean as a whistle. Whoa, that was weird. I've got some strangeness going on with my keys. So I will wait to do that till later. That's very odd, and I'm going to have to sort that out. But anyway, we have 8,901 liters of soybeans coming off of this field. So let me swing this right around. We are going to put these soybeans in a trailer just so we can keep score, or whatever you want to call it. For some reason, my HUD is disappearing when I hit that key, and that has never ever happened before, but I'll sort that out later. Not a big deal. So, what do we need to do now? Well, I figured the easiest way to do this test is to turn all of those settings off and replant this field, get it all ready to harvest again, and when we harvest it, if there's any difference, then we'll have to start going through the settings one by one to figure out which one it is. But if there is no difference, then it just doesn't matter. I kind of think I know where we're at with this already, but we're going to test it just to be sure. We want to be very scientific about this, right? Right. So I am going into my settings now. I'm actually going to save the game first. And we're going to turn plowing off. We're going to turn lime off. And we're going to turn weeds off. I'll save the game again. Now, I'm going to quit the game just so I can boot back up with all of these settings as they sit right now. And I will see you when this game starts back up again. Okay, so we are back and we are going to plant this field with more soybeans. That's going to be the next step in this little test. We've got to get this field all set up again and grown so that we can harvest it up. Now, one thing that I've discovered, I will show you before we get going. So if we look at our field again, we can see that it still says it needs lime, but the setting specifically says that lime required is turned off. So I don't know if that's a hiccup in the game or what. We're going to ignore it, pretend like it doesn't exist, and just get this field planted with soybean. Now, this planter will fertilize the first time. We'll have to wait for some growth. I will fertilize it again at that point. And we'll see where we end up. So let me get this field planted and I will check back in with you in just a little bit. So this is the final pass of replanting this field. Just about done. And it should have one application of fertilizer already on it. We'll check that out just to be sure there wasn't any kind of a hiccup there. And we will get rid of this cedar and grab our fertilizer sprayer, because it is going to need another application. So let's just drop that right there. And let's get rid of GPS because I don't need it anymore. Just go ahead and set up on the edge of this field. Alright, let's take a look. Turn off needs lime. I don't know why it's still telling us that, like I said, but we're hoping it's just a weirdness with the game. So, one application of fertilizer, we can see it's light blue as opposed to the dark blue here. The only thing I can do at this point is speed up time. So we are at 2,000%, and I am looking for first growth on this field. Come on, little soybeans, you can do it. I know you can. Nope, yes, there we go. Okay, that's what we needed. So I'm going to put on my second application of fertilizer now. Get this lined up properly. Oh, well, it grew up nice and hardy, didn't it? All right. I'm actually going to get my GPS working here again. No offset. Da, 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 da. Perfect. Okay, so I will get this fertilized and be back with you when it's ready for harvest. How about them apples? See you in just a little bit. And we are back, and I just let time run all the way into morning so that our soybeans would be ready to harvest, and we're going to show you right now we are fully fertilized, absolutely positively fully fertilized, and we are ready to harvest in a big way. So I am going to get this field harvested. We're going to find out exactly how many soybeans we have on this field with, yes, with lime, plowing, and weeds turned off. We're going to see if there's any difference in yield. So I will be back with you in just a little bit. Okay, that is the grand finale of the harvest. This harvest brought in 8,893 liters. Anybody remember what the original harvest brought in? Let's find out, shall we? 8,901. So we have a difference of 8 liters. So I think that pretty definitively answers the question, do game settings affect crop yield? That is a resounding no. So if you don't want to play with plowing turned on, you don't want to play with weeds turned on, you don't want to play with lime turned on, then turn them off. Play the game your way, as I always say. If you enjoyed this video, if it answered any questions you needed answered, if you found it helpful in some way, check out my other Let's Play videos, tutorials, and guides. You might find something else useful. And as always, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. I appreciate you coming along for the ride. And until next time, take care.